What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything you need to know about on a daily basis: money, investing, the stock markets, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and in our country. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos coming out every day. Also, we have decided, my wife and I, that we are going to be giving away $1,000 in total to our viewers. So at the end of this video, I will tell you how that works here. We're going to be doing that before Thanksgiving. And again, in December, another $1,000. So I will tell you how we're going to be doing that at the end of this video. So make sure to watch to the end if you're interested in how that is going to work here. So we've done that in the past, and we're going to be doing that again here to kind of give back to our viewers. So for Thanksgiving and for the holidays. So yeah, so if you're interested in that, make sure to watch to the end, and I'll tell you how that is going to work. All right. Also, if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, and let's jump right in. Okay, we got another possible state stimulus check here that was just announced slash signed. I'm going to show you guys here about. Remember that in addition to this big stimulus package that the Democrats are trying to sign into law, there's also going to be another stimulus package after this. They basically have taken the $3.5 trillion and kind of split it into two. They're going to pass around 1.75 or maybe a little bit less or more in one package now. Then they're going to come back around for another package after that. So the 3.5 trillion has kind of been split into two packages. We also have states, cities, and counties doing their own stimulus checks and stimulus programs, as with their $350 billion from the third stimulus check package, which the vast majority of money is still available as states are kind of doing their budgets now. And the vast majority of that money is still available. Probably like 90% of that money has not been spent yet. And I'm going to keep you up to date on all sorts of those type of programs, as well as rental assistance programs, the state home or homeowners assistance programs. I have links for those down below in the description. We've literally had thousands of viewers get their rent paid for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I've literally just in the past few days seen dozens of people saying, yeah, I just got notified that I did get rental assistance paid for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I've seen a couple of the other days say they got 4 months of rent assistance. I have videos down below in the description of this video on how to apply for that. There's also a video on how to apply for homeowners assistance. That's actually going to be becoming available here in the majority of states as well. So there is, even with this next stimulus package that they're trying to vote on here this week, that's really just one piece of the puzzle for a lot of these other. That's just like one different thing. There's still a whole lot of other things as well. Here's the new state, Texas. Check this one out. So yeah, here's a couple different articles. This one just came out yesterday, November 15th. It says coronavirus stimulus checks for Texas. Now, this is a possible, this is not a guaranteed thing for Texas, but it says Governor Abbott signs Senate Bill 8 allocating federal funding. And this could mean stimulus checks for Texans from this bill that the Governor Abbott, just signed for the state of Texas. Yeah, so you can see here Senate Bill 8, which allocates almost $16 billion in federal funding awarded to the state. These funds will be used for a variety of programs and could mean stimulus checks for Texans. Yeah, could mean stimulus checks for Texans. So I have a couple different articles here. Governor Abbott signs a bill allocating nearly $16 billion in stimulus bill funds. And here is actually from the office of the Texas governor. And they're going to be using this for all sorts of various different things here. Unemployment compensation fund, broadband infrastructure, travel, tourism, Federal Victims of Crime Act, and assistance grants, state and local hospitals, staffing, all sorts of different things here. Support rural hospitals, um, expansion of mental health services and Texas children families, Texas state veteran homes, all sorts of different things here. Support Texas food banks. So yeah, very, very possible that some people could be getting money from this. And honestly, I think that this is just a fraction of what Texas got in their money. This is probably going to be more here coming. This is just one example of what one state is doing. Probably going to be more here done for Texas, along with all the other states here in the future. We're just kind of starting to see more states decide what they're doing with their money. I will keep you up to date here. And again, as you can see here, this Senate Bill 8, which allocates almost $16 billion in federal funding for the state, these funds will be used for a variety of programs and could mean stimulus checks for Texans. So I will keep you up to date as we learn more information on what they're going to do with this money. And of course, I'll keep you up to date with all the other programs as well. Different states, cities, and counties doing assistance, stimulus check programs, as well as the big stimulus packages. There's going to be this one and another one after that, and other type of programs as well. Remember, just yesterday, President Biden signed the infrastructure package, and he says, quote, "Your life is going to change for the better." Here's some information with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki.
There's a lot in this bill, $1.2 trillion for much needed improvements to roads and bridges and airports, expanded access to the internet. Which component of the bill does the president believe will have the most transformative impact on Americans' lives?
Well, that's like picking between children, Wolf. They're all going to have huge, important impacts. But I will tell you a couple of things you didn't mention. One is expanding broadband access to people across the country. We saw during the pandemic, parents, mothers, dads had their kids in parking lots and McDonald's and Walmarts and other places because they didn't have access to broadband. The president wants to change that. We know across the country, millions of people are drinking water through lead pipes. Kids are drinking poisoned drinking water. We know that from the stories we saw in Flint, Michigan. We're going to change that by replacing these lead pipes. So those are areas that are going to have huge impacts on families across the country. And we're also going to rebuild roads, railways, bridges, historic investment in public transit so that we can become more competitive with countries around the world. So a big deal, a big day.
It's a very big deal, very important. Bipartisan support. I did say the legislation will have expanded access to the internet. So I did mention that. The president also told Americans, as you know, Jen, that their lives are going to change for the better because of this bill. Here's the question. How quickly can Americans expect to see that change? How long will it take?
Well, former Mayor Mitch Landrieu, former Lieutenant Governor, just started. Today was his first day. What a day to start. He's going to be traveling with the president tomorrow. And the president's made clear to him he wants him to get to work implementing this bill. And that means working with mayors and governors, working with members of the cabinet to get going and implementing this bill. And I sat in on the president's cabinet meeting on Friday, and what that meeting was focused on for 2 or 3 hours was each of the components of the cabinet members and what they're going to be implementing about this package. So we're going to get it done quickly as possible. I will note that this bill is designed to be spent over a period of time, right? It's not meant to be all thrown into the economy immediately. It's spent over time. But there are components that we're going to get started as soon as Mitch Landrieu has a few days under his belt.
Beyond the appointment of Mitch Landrieu, the former New Orleans mayor, what steps are you taking to ensure that all of the $1.2 trillion is allocated wisely and not wasted?
Well, the president takes waste, fraud, and abuse incredibly seriously. And when he was asked by former President Obama to oversee the implementation of the the Recovery Act back in 2009, People called him Sheriff Joe because he was so focused on cracking down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And he had a lot of success in doing that and overseeing that. So that is actually a big component of what former Mayor Landrieu will be overseeing in this role as the implementation coordinator, ensuring that this money is spent efficiently, effectively, wisely. And that is going to require hours of every day on the phone with mayors and governors and making sure we're getting this money where it needs to be, put people back to work, create good union jobs, and make sure we're impacting people's lives.
Meanwhile, Democrats inch close to passing the social spending package or the stimulus package or the American Families Plan. But Joe Manchin has a lot of concerns. House Democrats on Monday inched closer to a pre-Thanksgiving vote on President Biden's sweeping social benefits and climate package as Congress's official scorekeeper issued new cost estimates demanded by a group of centrist holdouts and party leaders charged ahead with plans to bring the legislation to the floor before this weekend. The two new fiscal reports released by the Congressional Budget Office detailed only portions of the massive $1.75 trillion legislation, but they were accompanied by the announcement that the CBO also intends to wrap up its full budget impact analysis by day's end on or before Friday. Also, a quicker timeline than previously suggested. And one raised the prospect that the House will move the measure this week with a vote. Centrist Democrats hailed the announcement while stressing their demand for official word that the new wave of spending would not add to federal deficits. Quote, I'm waiting for the last handful of the CBO scores to come in. I've always said it's super important for me that it's fully paid for. Moderate Representative Alyssa Slotskin, a Democrat from Michigan, told The Hill on Monday, quote, right now the numbers look pretty good, but I'm come from a district that expects me to read every line. Quote, I'm still undecided, and I have said that every which way to Sunday. My district expects me to be making independent decisions, and that's what I'm going to do. Senior Representative Emmanuel Cleaver, a Democrat from Missouri, says, quote, I think we have to wait until we get the Congressional Budget Office score. Quote, no matter when it comes, we need to wait on it, making sure that they vote as soon as it comes in. Republican leader of the House, Kevin McCarthy from California, says, quote, given its size, scope, given its unquestionable impact on American life, the American people deserve an honest, transparent debate about its true cost and contents, Kevin McCarthy said Monday in a speech on the House floor, characterizing the bills as, quote, a socialist spending spree. Democratic Representative Joe Neguse, a member of Democratic leadership, says, quote, I feel very confident that we're going to get this done and across the finish line. Quote, today's a big day for the president, for the country, to deliver something that many presidents have tried and failed to do, which is a bipartisan infrastructure bill to rebuild our crumbling roads and bridges, which was just signed into law yesterday. Meanwhile, Senator Joe Manchin dun, 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 has, quote, a lot of concerns over timing of the climate and social spending package, the stimulus package. Senator Joe Manchin, I think he's a Democrat from West Virginia, on Tuesday signaled he's not on board with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's plan to get President Biden's $1.75 trillion climate and social spending package passed into law by Christmas. Asked how he feels about the plan to speed the massive reconciliation bill known as Build Back Better through the Senate over the next month, Manchin says he's got a lot of concerns, cupping his hands around his mouth for emphasis as he took an elevator up to the second floor of the Capitol to vote. Manchin in September called for a strategic pause on the legislation, warning in a Wall Street op-ed that making budgetary decisions under artificial political deadlines never leads to good policy or sound decisions. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told colleagues earlier that morning he will keep driving hard on the budget reconciliation package to get it passed as soon as possible, saying, quote, "Make no mistake, we will keep going in the weeks ahead by passing the rest of President Biden's Build Back Better agenda. If we want to create jobs, help families lower costs, the best thing we can do is pass the Build Back Better package, the stimulus package." But Joe Manchin says he is yet to be persuaded by the argument that it will, pushing the claim that another $1.75 trillion into the economy will reduce inflation, that was a new concept to him, saying, quote, "I really haven't heard any specifics on that one. They say it's going to lower inflation. I'll have to check on that one." Now, regarding the timeline of this, well, Pramila Jayapal said they're going to vote on it this week. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to see. The Congressional Budget Office report says that it will be in by Friday. Again, we'll have to see if that happens. I'll keep you up to date. If and when they vote, again, I'll keep you up to date. The other thing that kind of is a deadline here is we have a government shutdown by December 3rd, which that's a hard date. December 3rd, the government will shut down if they don't come to an agreement on that, okay? Also, December 3rd is a soft date. It's not a set in stone date for the debt limit, okay? That's an estimated date where the government will literally run out of money and they have to essentially pass this stimulus package by that date to prevent the country from defaulting. So that is basically about 2 weeks from now. Okay. So when Joe Manchin talks about he wants to pause, it's just says what? It's like who, what, where, when, how? Like we have to raise the debt limit in 2 weeks, and the Republicans have said they're not going to help raise it. So that means the Democrats have to raise the debt limit in 2 weeks. That means it has to pass the House and the Senate. Joe Manchin knows this, and they have to do this through the reconciliation process, which means passing the stimulus package in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. They have to do it before then. Hello, Joe Manchin. Hello. You realize this, right? I realize this. Surely you have to realize this, right? Hello. We can't let the country default. Like that's something like that cannot be done. I mean, even the president has said this could delay Social Security payments to 65 million seniors, 65 million children would not get their child tax credit payments. That's 130 million people that would not be getting their payments from the government. The credit rating of the government would fall. Like it's just like worst case scenario. Like, what are we doing here? Like we have to do, there's so many different reasons why we have to pass this package. Just one of them is to prevent the government from defaulting. Now, the Republicans could always agree to pass the package, but remember that last time around, they only got 11 Republicans to vote yes on it, and they needed 10. And now Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer kind of made that mistake of blasting them. I don't think they're going to get 10 of them to do it this time around. Last time they only got 11. I knew that was a mistake when he did that. And how they going to get him to do it this time? I don't know what they're going to do. Besides pass the package within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so before I forget here, let me talk about the $1,000 giveaway that we're going to do here. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know we've done this in the past. We do a contest here where it's called What's in the Box. I'm going to have a box similar to that box right there. It's hard for me to look in this in reverse here. That was actually one of the things we did before. That box right there that has dragon eggs from Game of Thrones. But what I will do here is I'm going to put a box here on my desk, like right here, and I'm going to have a mystery item in there. Okay, and I'm going to give you 10 clues, one clue per video, and the clues are going to start off a little vague, and you should write down the clues, and the more clues you get, the easier it will be for you to guess what's in the box. Okay, and you can guess what's in the box simply by leaving a comment. And if you can guess what's in the box correctly, then you're kind of entered into the contest, okay, or the giveaway, okay. And we're going to give away $1,000 in total. We're going to do 10 people for $100, okay, for a total of $1,000. And if you can guess what's in the box, then randomly, I have a little program that randomly picks 10 people or it will be 10 people to give away $100, okay. And I'll send it out via PayPal, or PayPal's the easiest for me because that's just what I have. If you don't have a PayPal account, you can literally just go to paypal.com if you win, and I can just send you the money, and then you can just send the money to your bank account that way. If you don't have a PayPal account, you can sign up for one, or if you don't want to sign up for one, I'll figure out another way to get you the money or something like that. I'll send you a check or something like that. But I'm going to do this again in December as well, just kind of my way of giving back to the community here because, as you know, if you've been watching the show, I've done this in the past, and going to do this for Thanksgiving just to kind of give back to people here for Thanksgiving. We're going to do this again in December for the holidays as well. So this is going to start here in the next few days ish. I got to I got to pick an item to put in the box and come up with 10 clues. So definitely stay tuned here in the next few episodes or so. It's going to start, and you'll want to write them down. And $1,000 in total it will be. It's going to be 10 people, $100 each, and we're going to do it again in December. So yeah, kind of our family to yours, or to our viewers here, and just kind of our way of giving back a little bit. So if you've been watching our show, you know we've done it in the past several different times, and we're definitely going to do this again here. So we're going to do it before Thanksgiving, so really not that far away. It'll be done before Thanksgiving, so people will be able to buy Thanksgiving dinner or something with it if they want to. So definitely stay tuned. It's going to start here, not that far. So I will keep you up to date. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's free to do so. Literally just click subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes. After subscribing, click the bell icon. Click it to all notifications. The bell icon appears after you subscribe. So you get notifications when we go live, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join our family of subscribers. I will keep you up to date with daily news, everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C. This next stimulus package, as well as state stimulus checks, county stimulus packages, and other programs like rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, all sorts of things going on here that you can apply for. In fact, you can click here to watch my newest video next. This top video is how to apply for rent assistance. You can get up to 12 months of your rent paid. And this bottom video is how to apply for homeowner's assistance. If you're a homeowner, there's homeowner assistance as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.